I will start my presentation with this slide from the PMC website. As all of you know, we are a smart city, and smart city says that we have to have 100% sewage treatment. So we are committed to make Pune a clean and healthy city. So let me begin with that. Why are Pune's rivers polluted? The main reason is only 30% of sewage outflow from the city is treated. And that too, as Sarang sir pointed out, not fully. Look at this sewage treatment plant outflow, frothing in front of the Bhairova Nala. These numbers Sarang sir had given, and I have taken this video at the Vruddheshwar Siddheshwar Ghat. You can see bubbling of methane coming up from the sewage that is getting degenerated in the river. You cannot hardly go there without closing your nose. So what we need to do, that we have proposed to PMC to generate plan for additional 700 MLD STP. This is what should have happened in 2016. There are so many sewage treatment plants, and 2016 a proposal was made to upgrade these plants. All the numbers are given here. However, in the last 7 years, Pune city's population has grown and water demand has grown. And as told by Sarang sir, our present demand is 1,634 MLD. So the shortfall is 778. So anything that needs to be done first is to start treating sewage. So all of us conscientious citizens should raise our voice, come to the streets and say that we don't want any sewage flowing into the river. This has to be done first. Now with this, I come to the second part of my presentation. Jeevit Nadi studied 4 sections, 2 on Mutha River and 2 on Mula River. And I will talk about one of these sections, beyond beautification and ecological approach to restore rivers. A section of 1 kilometer was taken up jointly by Jeevit Nadi and Oikos and supported by KPIT. River in our mind is that flows, meanders through mountains and with fish swimming in the river, lot of green canopy. And we are fortunate in Pune. We have lot of green canopy on either side of the river. This is called the riparian woodland. And we must protect them if we want river to rejuvenate itself. So the scope of the project was to develop approach, model, plan for the Mutha River stretch for 1 kilometer starting at Vithalwadi. As Sarang explained very well, that Pune is at the transition zone. The source of the rivers, Pune is somewhere here, and then the river flows to the sea along the east coast. The topology of Pune, as Sarang clearly explained, is a saucer-shaped topology with mountains on all the sides, and there is only one way for water to flow. So Jeevit Nadi adopted this section of 1 kilometer and carried out a detailed study how to revive the river without altering the cross section of the river and by engaging people in the revival process. The vision was to was considering the river as a natural entity, as a living entity. River is just an ecosystem comprising of many natural zones, and we have to restore all the streams feeding into it. But of course, this has to be done after cleaning the river. There are many components to a river, a riparian forest, and today I visited the riparian forest on near the Bun Garden area, which is getting obliterated. And my request to all of you is take out some time, go visit the left bank and the right bank. The left bank forest is completely flattened and concrete walls have been built. The right hand is yet to happen. If you go there, you will realize how these meanders, the pools, the riffles, the rapids, which are the natural parts of any riverbed, have been completely damaged, destructed beyond repair, irreversibly. So we, in our approach, made the objective that the present proposal aim at proposing a river revival strategy based on ecologically prudent perspective that includes the following objective: consideration of river as a biological living entity, stop, avoid, control solid and liquid pollutions getting into the river, restore the structures and functions of the river, promote wise use of river by various stakeholders, develop urban open spaces. These are our breathing spaces. The benefits of this would be lively open spaces, education and recreation, fresh areas, clean waters without solid and liquid waste, reduce risk of flooding, re-establish natural green canopy so that will address the climate resilience. This project, the present project, RFD project, the carbon footprint is huge. I calculated that and it works out to be 2 million tons. Sorry, it works out to be 2 million tons, which is 8% of Pune's annual carbon emissions, which we are trying to reduce. So why add to the carbon emission is just beyond us. We can do this revival without increasing our carbon footprints. Sarang has already explained how the Pune rivers are flowing. The hydrology, we say that the channel is heavily influenced by various feeder streams which are feeding into the river. A major feeder stream meeting the river stretch from Sinhagad Road influences the water flow and the quality to a great extent. Currently, this channel carries sewage from the vicinity of and empties into the river. So we must stop sewage going into the river. There are 2 perennial springs near Vithalwadi temple, few more on the opposite bank where wetlands are formed. The water quality of these springs is very good and thus form an important source of fresh water. So we must not block these streams, but we must encourage them to be natural and perennial. We also tested the water quality at various places during this 1 kilometer, and all those tests are available, which we will discuss later. Assessment was carried out by various surveys, detailed contour survey, and ecological assessment, including detailed biodiversity profile of terrestrial and aquatic life. Groundwater assessment was carried out. Stakeholder interviews and analysis was done. Survey surrounding the area of human activities in the vicinity of the river was. Based on this, a plan was made. The design policy was to focus, restore structure and functions of river to facilitate better human-river interaction. Planning was based on the ground assessment, blue and red lines given by the irrigation department, proposed DP of Pune city, understanding of river as an ecosystem, which was the main differentiation between the RFD of PMC and the rejuvenation plan that we are supposed. In the master plan, you will see the proposed master plan, which we will make available on the website. 80% of the work is restoration. In case of RFD of Pune municipality, 80% is concretization. So this is the big difference. And the remaining 20% is for creating recreational areas. Here is a plan for that 1 kilometer. I will not go into a detail much because we already passed our time. So we have planned in complete detail in this 1 kilometer how different pathways can be created, how free-flowing river without channelization can be done, how wetland can be made accessible. This is the Vithalwadi temple, so access is here. Then terrestrial habitat gardens can be developed around this. A wetland garden can be developed. A wetland observation area would be created so that people can observe the birds and other aquatic life. Another very important aspect of any restoration which is ecologically sustainable and ecologically prudent is introduction of right vegetation, which is indigenous and it is suitable for the climate. So we will be introducing these different species of vegetation. The biodiversity of any river system is large, and not only human beings, but there are many insects, there are many reptiles form the part, and birds form the part of this ecosystem. So what we are proposing is to create habitats for these species so that they contribute to improving the river hygiene. Biodiversity would be used as an indicator. Today, it is said that Mula Mutha River had 60 species of fish. Today, there is only one fish which can stay in black water. So that's the only fish that is remaining in the Mula Mutha. We are proposing to increase the biodiversity by a sustained natural restoration process of the wetlands and related areas near the river. What are the benefits of this project? The way we are suggesting it, we will avoid further pollution. Citizens' involvement will be used to work sustainability, wider channel, slowing down the velocity and reducing the flood risk, reconnecting to natural floodplains that will absorb and reduce the flood risk, create meanders and improve water quality, because many of these habitats also help to purify the water. Provide shading. This is another very important thing. And just now I had been to Ahmedabad and I will talk about the Sabarmati River there. And this is a very important aspect of any riparian woodlands or forest is that it provides shade. You would have seen as the summer comes, on the traffic light, you will see motorcyclists staying under the. So we propose that PMC should give us this 1 kilometer and we will do the restoration within the timeline with 1/5 of the expense without disturbing the riverbed. So we definitely want, this is a slide which Sarang has already done, so I will not talk about it. One of the question was how to join this movement. You can join the movement by doing chain fast, and you can go to Pune River Revival. and many people have been fasting, and every time somebody fasts, a letter is sent to the Prime Minister, to the Environment Minister, to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra State, and 4 officials of Pune Municipal Corporation why we are protesting and why we are fasting. Today we have fasted for more than 400 days. For more information, you can send and reach out to us at punerevival@gmail.com, and our website is punerevival.com. All the project reports which Sarang alluded to and the restoration report that I have shown will be available on the Pune Revival. Now there is another question which is always asked. If Sabarmati is looking so good, why not do the same thing here? Sarang has explained very clearly that the topology of Ahmedabad and topology of Pune are completely different. So you cannot do a cut-paste job here. And that is what the project consultants are doing through PMC. Here are some pictures of Sabarmati riverfront when it is flooded. Fortunately for Sabarmati, there is only one dam, unlike Pune, which has 6 dams. And that dam from Ahmedabad is 130 kilometers away in Aravallis. And that part of Aravalli, which is rain deficient. So such flooding is rare, but it occurs every time these days in Ahmedabad. So the lower promenade is completely underwater, no access, the gates are closed, nobody can go into this area. You can see here. The width of the riverfront in Ahmedabad is 285 meters. In Pune, we are going to have 90 meters, as was shown, from 154 meters to 90 meters reduction. Another problem in Sabarmati is because of the Vasana barrage here, the water remaining here is stagnant. And that leads to, and some sewage is still going into that. So it's stinking pool of stagnant water, which leads to water hyacinth. So every year, municipal corporation is spending a lot of money. And if you go to the Google image, you will see this water hyacinth floating in the Sabarmati river, which needs to be removed every year. These are images taken from Google. I had been to Sabarmati last week, and on the left-hand side is the Vasna barrage. And you will see after the Vasna barrage, what happens. Pure sewage flowing into Sabarmati, pure unadulterated industrial effluents flowing in red color. And this is what the condition of Sabarmati is. There was a question asked in the parliament in 2021, which are the worst polluted rivers. And this section of the river in Sabarmati is India's second worst polluted river. In 2022, Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar had the national games, and they had planned that they will have triathlon competition in the river, from the riverfront. But the athletes and the coaches, when they looked at the water, they said that they cannot use that water for the coaches. And this is what you see. Today I have taken this video. You can see the boat club behind, and some part of the riparian vegetation that I talked about. I have taken a panoramic video, and you will see this is what has been done to the riparian thick vegetation. Part of it is cut off, and the remaining part is going to be cut off. On the other bank, you have a pristine riparian forest up to here, up to the Sadal Baba Dargah. Beyond that, everything is chopped out. Not a single tree here from Bun Garden Bridge to this. I plead with you, visit this area and you will start crying, I assure you. And this is what is going to happen to 44 plus 44 kilometers of both banks of the river. Do we want our rivers like this? Thank you. That's end of my presentation.